Allbirds, the shoe company, just pivoted to renting GPUs to AI companies. Their stock went up 582% in a single day. We need to talk about this. Plus, Claude just got a massive upgrade, and researchers mathematically proved AI layoffs will crash the economy, and Stanford's annual AI report card has some numbers that should make everyone uncomfortable. And don't forget about AI Jesus. Let's talk about all of that. Right, so let's start with Anthropic. They rolled the new model Claude Opus 4.7, and it's less risky than Mythos. I'm not sure you remember, but Mythos was basically so overpowered that Anthropic decided they will not be releasing this to public, so this model will be only available to a few companies and a few banks. And in my opinion, this is not a great news, because if something is too powerful for people to use on a daily basis, then probably it means that it shouldn't be used at all. But those few companies, we all know what those companies are, all have access to Mythos. So long term, it's probably not a good news, but well, it is what it is. We cannot change it. But let's talk about the current models. So we have Claude Opus 4.7, and what is interesting on a official website, we can see how much this model is improving. And obviously, there are some benchmarks. You can compare Opus 4.7 to Opus 4.6, and also GPT 4.5, Gemini, and obviously Mythos as well is included here, although we will not have access to this model. And there's also one more thing about Mythos that I think might be true. So there are two cases. Either it's really overpowered, so they don't give it to general public, or the second option is that it's not really that powerful, but they're just building, let's say, this mystery under brand, because you know how it works. If something is not available, people want it more. So if they have no access to Mythos, but they have access, for example, to Opus 4.7, people will still get access to Opus 4.7 because at certain point they believe they will get access, for example, Mythos. But I might be wrong. Maybe this model is so powerful that it will kill us all, but hopefully not. So coming back to Opus 1.7, you have agentic coding, which is, let's say, better than 10% from Opus 4.6. Then we have agentic coding, which is 7% better, agentic terminal coding. So you can just check those statistics all by yourself. And in my opinion, it looks quite good. I don't really see much difference when I'm using Claude, because I'm using Claude as well. But what I realize is true is that sometimes when I ask Claude about something, it started to disagree with me. And sometimes I don't like it, because if I know that what I want to do, I don't want anyone to disagree with me. But sometimes it happens. So for example, I asked Claude for a prompt, and instead of giving me the full prompt, it removed this text that you can see here. Then in Canva, add from shoes to GPUs, and this is not what I wanted. I want to have everything in one place. So sometimes things like that can cost you credits if AI just don't disagree with you. And this is quite funny, because first, you hire people and you have employees, right? And you argue with them because they don't want to do something. Now, it'll be quite the same, but you're also arguing with ChatGPT or Claude because it also disagrees with you. What is really the point? If, for example, ChatGPT or Claude is arguing with me, at this point, it's better to hire an employee and argue with him, because it's or her is a real person. And I prefer to argue with a real person than a robot, right? And sometimes super annoying. I know some people say that, oh, ChatGPT or Claude is too agreeable. But in my opinion, this is the whole point. You're using a tool, so the tool should be agreeable and do the thing that you want them to do. For example, if you buy a hammer, you don't want the hammer to tell to you, oh, it's not how you should hold me, it's not how you should, use this kind of hammer, blah, blah, blah. You have a tool, you use it how you want it. So this is maybe me, but I don't really like it. Nevertheless, Opus is quite efficient, and with just a few prompts, I basically created my whole business from scratch. So I just started with a short idea and the target audience that I want to basically target with this business. And he asked me a few questions, then we find a domain name, basically everything that we need. So also YouTube banners, how to create them. Obviously, some graphics here were not that great, but I also got some graphics, so this is good. Then, we had a few versions of this banner. Then we also have a banner with, let's say, different colors, so stuff like that. I don't really like it, but it was good to get some options, something that I can later build on. Then I also asked what would be the best cover photo, images of me working. It's not obviously that good as Nano Banana in generating graphics, but it's quite good, I would say. Then I also wanted to create a landing page, so it created the whole landing page for me. Obviously, the later was also sales page, stuff like that. So this was the first page. So it's great. I just built the whole business with it. Usually it will take me around 1 week to build all of that, but with Claude, I just built it in just 1 day, which is a huge difference. And here is also what I think is true about all these models. They are very helpful for small companies, small businesses, but they're not that great if you are working for a big company or you are a big company. If you are, for example, a company and you're hiring, let's say 100, 200 people, you cannot really fire all of them because you will not have enough time to manage all the agents and all the tasks. Obviously, you can say, okay, so I have one agent that will be managing, let's say, my all agents, like a manager or something, but I don't think AI is there yet. If they will be there, that will also mean a massive economic disaster, even if a universal credit is in place already. But we'll talk about it a little bit later. And here is also verification of this benchmark. So it's not that only Claude decided, okay, so maybe it's 10% better or something. So here is actually a proof that it actually got better. So this is a good thing. If you're using Claude, well, it's a good news for you. And in my opinion, I'm not sure it's true or not, but it also seems to me like limits got a little bit better. So before I was hitting limits pretty much every hour. Right now I'm not hitting those limits every hour, so I'm not sure anything changed here, but or maybe I'm not using AI that much anymore. But right now I feel like it got a little bit better, but you can share your experience and your opinion in the comment section below. I would like to know how it works for you. Now let's talk about something even bigger and more important. So only 10% of Americans believe that AI will be beneficial, while among AI experts, around 56% of people believe that AI will bring something good. And there's a great review posted on MIT 3 days ago, and it says what people think about AI and what might be the future of AI. So now let's talk about this, because I think this is very important. But to start, let's just talk about how these models are evolving and how powerful they are. So US and China are nearly tied in AI competition, and you can see that all these models are getting significantly better. So here is performance of top models on the arena by select providers. So we have Meta, we have Mistral, we have DeepSeek, Alibaba, OpenAI, Google, xAI, and Anthropic. So what you can see is that all of them are evolving apart from Meta, but you can see that since May 2023, they're evolving quite rapidly. And since May 2023 until January 2026, we have 50% improvement in the arena score. So nearly all of them improved by 50%, which is huge in my opinion for that short period of time. So these models are advancing faster than anyone could have imagined. And it also shows how these models compare to human performance. But when it comes to this performance, it's not 100% true and realistic. So I'll explain in a second what I mean. But first, let's talk about this performance. So we have this line here, which basically shows human baseline. So basically what we are capable of. We can see these AI models evolving. Right? And we have variety of skills here. We have image classification, we have English language understanding, we have multitask language understanding, PhD level science questions. So all of them are getting better, as you can see. We have even visual reasoning, we have medium level reading comprehension, competition level mathematics, multimodal understanding and reasoning, and mathematical reasoning. So all of them are getting quite strong, especially PhD level science questions, but it's not really the reality. So when you look at this chart, it might be scary that AI is actually better than a human baseline. The human baseline is 100%, and a few of these models actually suppress this level. So we can see maybe 105%, 110, or even 20% on other tasks, but this is not reality. And let me tell you why. So these tests are not really objective because they are closed in a specific environment, and you have only certain way of moving forward with those tests. While in reality, it doesn't work in this way, right? So when you start a task or you are doing something, it's very rarely very straightforward process, unless it's like, I don't know, cutting vegetables on a chopping board or whatever. All other tasks are more complicated. So you have one question, a few questions, it might be right. If there are 20 different tasks that you need to switch between 20 different tools, then it's not that accurate anymore. And here is also a proof for it. Stanford says that some of them are poorly constructed and they fail on this benchmark sometimes on 45% of the time. So it means that if you give AI one task, you have, let's say, nearly 50% chances that will solve the task properly, which in my opinion is not acceptable. And obviously the performance will improve over time, but AI is already affecting jobs. So within 3 years of going mainstream, AI is used by 50% of people all around the world, which in my opinion is not a bad thing, but people believe that it can replace everything. And this is a very dangerous area, but we'll talk about it in a second as well. So around 88% of organizations now are using AI, and also 4 in 5 university students also use it. So it's still very difficult to say how AI is really affecting jobs and how many people are actually losing jobs, but we can see here how the headcount is changing. So as you can see, from January 2021 until September 2022, normalized headcount was alright, let's say it was around 1. And after that, it basically was all over the place. So, and here's, for example, a situation with software developers. Here is, for example, customer support agents. And when you look at these graphs, what I believe is true and what will be true in the future is that everyone who is not good enough will be removed from the market. So all these people that don't deliver great services will be completely removed. You need to be an expert in something, or you need to be just good at your job. And I know now many people think about this meme. Okay, so you just start a job, but you should be already an expert. How can you be an expert? So I believe there will be solutions for that as well. Obviously, things like internships, or you'll be getting paid less. I think things like that will still exist. Or some people just use AI to get better at certain jobs. So I believe this is the future. Like, we cannot really get angry at that, or maybe we can, but we cannot really change it. It's the same, like, for example, people preferred riding horses, and then at some point, cars were invented. So obviously some people said, no, I will never drive cars. And if enough people refuse, then the industry will basically die. Yeah, but this is not how it works. Even if, let's say, some people disagree, will not use it at all, they will be just left behind. Because now you are on your horse, and your horse is getting tired, old, whatever. It cannot take as much load as your car could take. So these are all problems that car is solving. And obviously owning a horse and feeding it and taking care of it, it's also quite expensive thing. So when you think about all these details, it's obvious that cars at some point will win. And it's the same with AI. So now we can be angry. And there are certain things that I'm concerned about, but still we cannot slow down AI, or we cannot stop it. We only can learn how to use it in our lives so we can make more money, make our lives better, but we will not remove it completely. So let's just hope that we'll not end up in like Terminator movie or something like that. And here is also one more important thing. So here is your perceptions of AI, societal impact, general public versus experts. And obviously experts will be more positive about AI, but we can also see in what areas these let's say these people or society, American society is positive about. So medical care, 84% of AI experts are thinking that AI will bring positive impact in the next 20 years, while general public is around 44%. And I would say medical care is a good one and a big one as well. Because AI is more accurate in many things that are, let's say, standardized. And when it comes to health, sometimes people try to overcomplicate things, and AI can just take a look at something and say, okay, it is this case. There are some exceptions for it, and it needs to be used very cautiously. But I believe in medical care as well, it will bring a lot of good improvements to our lives, and probably will help us with longevity and having healthier and longer lives. We have K2 education. Obviously, general public is not that happy. AI experts are still positive about it. So in all those things, you can see that AI experts are quite positive, but there are a few things where people are not that positive about. And this is something that I agree very much. So for example, we have elections. And elections, both groups, which is general public and also AI experts, are not very convinced that AI will bring anything good for the countries or societies. And I understand this point of view perfectly, because there were so many examples where people saw how technology can be used to cheat in elections. For example, I'm not sure you remember, but there was a big campaign on Meta ads, or previously Facebook ads, where you could just say the worst thing about your political opponent, and with just Facebook ads and spending more money, you could win elections. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this company that I'm talking about is called Cambridge Analytica, and it was responsible for this big scandal with user data and all these advertising campaigns. I can understand why people are not very positive about elections and AI helping us with elections. I can completely understand that. Apart from that, I can see that in many cases, in many situations, AI can improve our lives, but I don't really believe personal relationships can be improved that much with AI. It really depends what they are thinking about. If it's about let's say asking ChatGPT for an advice on relationships, it also depends how someone will program this AI. Because if someone will have some agenda behind it, and you'll be getting different answers based on what is your gender or what is your ideology, then it will become a problem. But let's say personal relationships, I don't think it's that big issue, or at least in my perception or perspective. Okay, but this was just talking. Let me give you something more practical, because you can also use AI in Canva and also with NotebookLM, which in my opinion is getting even better now. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so there are two tools we'll be talking about. First is obviously NotebookLM. This is a great tool for any kind of research and finding information among a few sources. So if you're looking for a tool where you, let's say, add 10, 20, or even 30 sources and then ask questions and get answers based on all these sources, then NotebookLM is a great tool for you. And I see that many creators use it even for YouTube channels. There is one guy in my school community that is using NotebookLM and also VoiceOver to just create the whole content for his videos. So let me show you how it works. You add all your content here, all your sources. You can just do research on Google, or you can add your own sources sources, it doesn't really matter. And then you can ask specific questions. So I just want to chat a little bit more about YouTube. So here's an interesting question. What content categories or niches are more profitable for creators on YouTube? So let's see what NotebookLM will tell us about this one. So here we have a few answers. Obviously, if you're on YouTube, you probably know an answer to a lot of these questions, but I just want to show you how it works. So obviously we have finance and trading, where you can have nearly $20 cost per mile, which is how much advertising are paying to show ads on your channel. And you will be getting around $12 or $13 from it, which is a very good RPM. So gaming obviously is all right. Revenue per mile is around $5 for US creators. Obviously, gaming is nothing when you compare it to finance and trading, but gaming is also easier to produce because you just play games that you enjoy and you can grow in this way. However, with finance and trading, you actually need to show something more complicated, and it's very difficult to stay in those niches for a longer time. Then we have high margin and expertise driven categories. So you have educational and how to content, and these videos are getting 20% of search queries on YouTube. Creators in this space usually are selling digital products, can be courses, ebooks, and templates, and profit margins are the highest because you can keep between 70 to 90% of your revenue. So this is true. I can confirm it with my own experience. Then we have also emerging and underserved niches. And this is quite good because this is where the money lies. The biggest thing about YouTube is that you need to find a niche that is not that competitive yet, and then you need to find your way how to win this niche and how to take the whole niche for yourself. So that's why when you see my channel and there are videos about AI and then there are videos about how to grow on YouTube, the second category is not working well for my channel. First, obviously, is a different niche, so my subscribers don't want to watch it, but also another thing is that this niche is extremely competitive. They're the biggest creators in the whole world. That have Ali Abdaal, you have all these big guys. Obviously, you have an option to watch me with 24,000 subscribers and Ali Abdaal with like 2 million or something. You would trust him. It doesn't really matter what I say. In most cases, you trust him more than you'll trust me. So we have, for example, this one, geopolitical travel vlogs. This is quite interesting. So we have streamer lore documentaries. This might be interesting. A low saturation niche that offer fast timeline to monetization, Korean drone and light shows, and also vintage soul music albums. So these are niches that are underserved, and if a niche is underserved, it probably means that it will be quite easy to grow there. And here is also the content format that is the most profitable. So obviously some people say that YouTube Shorts are much better for monetization, but it's not really true because RPM is extremely low on these shorts. So obviously you'll be getting, let's say 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 or even 1 million views. But if you have 1 million views on a long form YouTube video, you'll make 10 times more money or sometimes even more. And the reason why I want to tell you about NotebookLM is that NotebookLM soon will be overpowered. Google is working on a new Canvas experience and connector support for NotebookLM. And Canvas mod will basically help you with generating visual representation of a data from your sources. It will look like that. Here will be Canvas. I don't have it in my NotebookLM yet. I have infographics and slide deck, but it's still quite interesting because infographics are always great. And I wanted to see an infographic that NotebookLM can create for me if it's actually usable. So this is what NotebookLM created for me. And I would say this is good. If you have any kind of presentation or if you want to create something like that for your YouTube video, this is good. So this is 2026 video platform economy report, and you can just use this for your videos. And this is why it is so powerful, because now you can do all your research in, let's say 10, 15 minutes. And then even based on that, you can create your infographic in, let's say, the next 2 minutes. And this infographic looks very good. We have also big creators here. So there's a lot of things because we added a lot of resources here or sources. So now all you have to do with this is just present it on your YouTube channel and you have, ready video. If obviously this is your niche, if you have something different, you can create something completely different, but this is high value material. And another tool I want to show you is actually Canva AI 2.0, where you will be able to start generating all your ideas or graphics with just a prompt, with just talking to a model. So it's not really about prompting anymore. Now it's about having conversations. So now you say, can you resize something? Can you create this for me? And as for now, it is not available yet, but it's super powerful. You just start with an idea, you tell about your idea either with voice or write a text. Then you can also connect your world. So you have Asana, Notion, Google, Gmail, Google Drive, whatever that is, you can connect it there and then edit your way. And it works for design, for writing, for brand, and also for coding. I'm quite happy about it because I've been using Canva for the last 5 or 6 years. So this will only help me with generating better results, better graphics. And I love when you can just write what you want to see or what you want to change, and you will just get, this is what you'll be able to do quite soon. In terms of pricing or where it will be available, here is also where you can expect to use this model. So obviously you can have Canva free, but with Canva free you are not getting Canva AI 2.0. You are getting it from this model here, which is basically the pro model. You can pay monthly or annually. It's at this point £13 per month per person. Here you are getting Canva AI 2.0 and also Canva AI connectors, but obviously they say soon. It's not available yet, but this will be super powerful and I cannot wait to start using it. So at this point, the one thing that you can take from this part is that NotebookLM is a great tool for any kind of research. You want to save time on reading 20 pages of text and just have everything in one place, and then just generate a very nice infographic for now. Later on, you will be able to have this canvas mode soon, and in this way you'll be able to present your documents in even better way. Then you have obviously slide deck, so you can create slides for it, and it's quite easy. You just click on a button and you will get the material, right? So now it's generating the slide deck. We can also create audio overview, video overview, which is great. Let's see a video overview. We have explainer, let's say language, auto select. I don't want to pick any style, and we can just simply hit generate and it will generate it for us. So let's see what else we can do. So as you can see, now it's generating our slides here and also the video. So in a second, we will see what we will get here. Okay, so here we have our slide deck. Let's see what it looks like. It doesn't look bad, I would say. Here we have the first slide, here we have the second one. So obviously there is a lot of going on here, but also a lot of information. The global demand architecture, India, okay, quite a lot of demand there. You have USA, Brazil, Indonesia. What is also interesting is that 35% of US adults are now getting their news primarily from YouTube, which is a big shift, or it's not really surprising, but well, this is the reality that many people are just spending time on YouTube and are watching news, maybe like this one, wing wing. And it's also quite interesting. So YouTube is no longer just the biggest website, it's functionally the largest paid TV and internet TV provider in the United States. So this shows the shift, and it shows that everyone should be on YouTube and create something. Even if you're just watching this video right now, think what you can create using AI or not using AI, it doesn't really matter. And so overall, nice statistics. I would say very nice layout. This is not really style of my channel, but it's not bad. I would say these graphics are quite good. So it's 6-minute long video. It's not bad, I would say.
You want to be a YouTuber, right? It feels like the dream job these days. But let's get real for a second. What does the data actually say about making it big in 2026? We're going to peel back the curtain and look at the cold, hard numbers behind that dream. Let's dive right in.
So here it is, the big question. You've got 138 million channels out there. I mean,
okay, let's skip a little bit. So I would say the visuals are quite good, but this is a foundation. So if you have something like that, then I believe you need to refine it further. So this is a good starting point, but then you need to add some B-roll, maybe your own commentary. But all those visuals are, in my opinion, good enough.
Total number. It's the speed. He's gaining a...
Okay, so this was the video, and let's see the difference between video and also the audio preview.
I want you to imagine handing an iPad to a toddler.
Oh boy, a dangerous game.
Right. I mean, they don't know how to read.
Right. So here we have two options, either YouTube videos or podcasts as well. So this is a good starting point for literally anything you have, right? You can do your research here, generate some visuals, generate some content, and then even see how you can take it to the next level. So my friend that was using it said that this is very helpful for his business when he is listening to these videos or these podcast clips. He says it's just mind-blowing. It's just helping him very much to improve and get better at YouTube, basically. So if you're looking to do something similar to possibly improve your skills, I would say you should try NotebookLM and later even Canva AI 2.0, but it's not available yet. And here is the news of the day. Struggling shoe retailer Allbirds make bizarre pivot into AI and adds $127 million in value. And this is not really surprising. We can see that we can see the increase here, and we can also check a live stock, what it looks like right now. So when we check 5 last days, it looks quite interesting. There is this huge boost here, and it seems that it is true for many companies. So people are just buying everything connected to AI, but this is also something that's dangerous in my opinion, because many companies don't have the right infrastructure or security to make sure that everything is safe and that it works properly. Many companies will just adapt AI, will add all these AI tools, agents, will try to outsource everything to AI, but that will create problems later on. So this is very interesting news to see that Allbirds is now saying GPUs to AI companies but it's not that surprising after all. Like everyone is trying to use AI in their business right now or to make money, because right now everyone believes that AI is the next big thing. And obviously it will be part of our life, but it will be the strongest and the biggest thing ever. I'm not so sure. There are many things that we need to take into consideration. And it was kind of similar boom with cryptocurrencies. And I was watching this boom because I was recording about cryptocurrencies at the time. And it was kind of the same. People were talking about cryptocurrencies everywhere, that everyone will be using cryptocurrencies everywhere, that, it will be so much better, so much more safe and stuff like that. And today, well, I would say crypto is not that interesting to people anymore. It doesn't mean that technology is not there. It's just not that interesting to investors anymore. That now it's AI, now it's the next big thing. But still, the cryptography or some cryptocurrencies can be useful and will be useful, but maybe not from investing standpoint. But AI will and is already changing how we think and how we work. So we just need to adapt to the new world, because most people don't understand the AI era, and we need to understand it in order to have a successful life in this era, if that makes sense. But there is even something more interesting, or something more funny. Right now, you can even talk to Jesus AI. And I'm not really sure how I feel about it, because obviously I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, but I'm not really sure if this is something that I would like to do. When I pray, I just talk to God and to Jesus, but I just don't feel like I need to pay to talk to Jesus. I can just pray and I will have the same thing. But they still made it, and it works for them. So if it's helpful for some people, I think that's a good thing. But let me show you what it sounds like.
Hi, Jesus. My name is Jeff, and I've been having a really hard time in life, and I'm looking for some inspiration and guidance.
That heaviness you're carrying is truly felt, and I want you to know you're not walking through it alone.
I would say this is not that great yet. All these models or all these AI tools that are responding in a real time, they're not that great yet. Maybe it'll be helpful to some people. I don't really think that it's something I would like to use, but well, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section below what do you think. But I think this is just too much. And that brings us to the next part, which is probably very concerning to people. And it's a paper about AI layoffs. So how many people are getting fired and why? And what would be then the biggest problem with AI replacing so many people? So this is a long paper, 53 pages, but I wanted to make it a little bit shorter and give you just the most important things. So key takeaways from this paper is that AI is no longer experimental and it's in production. 96% of companies are already using AI, and they're also exploring larger scale deployments. So it's already here, right? It's not about the question when people will start using AI, because they are using it right now. Even I'm using AI for many things right now, but also creates problems. So most people are not really ready for AI. As I mentioned, those companies, they don't have the right infrastructure, the right security to be able to run or use those AI tools or AI agents and basically agentic models properly. There will be a lot of problems that will arise from that, and we'll experience it very, very soon. There is also a big difference, because all the AI models, they were able to generate just, images or videos, but now they can just execute very complicated tasks without your decision, make decisions, and adopt it in real life as well. And this is, for example, what I saw when I was using, for example, Claude, that it changed how it treats me. With every model, it's more autonomous, and in many cases it might be good, or it also might be bad. Like, for example, if I use a tool, I don't want this tool to tell me how I should do the work or how I should use the tool. Like, can you imagine, just you have a hammer or a knife, and the knife is telling you, oh no, you're using me incorrectly, you should use me on this way. And some people obviously will like it, because, for example, if you cannot use a knife properly and you get this instruction, okay, you can use it now. But if you already are experienced with something, then it might just slow down your process or cost you more credits when it comes to AI. And this is probably the point here, is probably the biggest point that I see in this whole industry. So is that a lot of companies are actively using AI and are hiring people to oversee the process, or basically check if AI is making everything correctly. So this will create a lot of new job opportunities, but it will also completely remove or kill most of them. So we need to understand that this train will not stop. We can just adapt and learn how to use AI properly. So if you're an expert in something, the best thing you can do right now is just to start using AI in your own field if your competition is not using it yet. Because if your competition is already using it and you're not, you will be left behind soon, and probably very soon. Because if AI keeps with its progress, then in, let's say, 1 or 2 years, people that are using AI will be considered superhumans, and people that are not using it will be basically like a caveman when you compare them together. But here is also a big problem and also opportunity for you if you know how to serve this market. So most of these companies, as I mentioned, they have no infrastructure to accommodate AI properly. Because of that, it's hard to secure, hard to scale, and also it's growing the technical debt. So if you know how to standardize the whole process of using AI in companies, now you'll be making a lot of money. So you just need to learn how to do it. And the good thing about it is that because this space is relatively new and you learn how to do it one of the first, then you will make the most amount of money. And this is what it actually means. So most of these companies are using AI because their competition is using AI, and everyone is using, and even if they don't want to use it, well, their competition will use it. So even if they don't want to use it, they are still forced to. So this is exactly like cloud in 2010 or mobile apps in 2012. Most people didn't want to use it, but because everyone was using it, they also needed their own version of cloud or their own mobile app. So now it's the same with AI. AI will not replace anything. It will just change how we approach working and how we actually do the job. So many people will probably lose job, but then there'll be other options to make money, either by supervising AI or doing jobs that are too complicated for AI right now. Like, for example, when it comes to renovating houses, some jobs are too complicated for AI because this is not a straightforward environment. This is not like what if A, then B. Sometimes it's like if A, then maybe C, but maybe B or maybe Z. So this is like more complicated things that require a lot of effort to solve, especially if you don't want to rebuild the whole house, but you just want to fix one small thing. But to get to this one small thing, you need to, for example, find a specific solution or a specific way to get to this one thing without demolishing the whole wall, for example. So probably the most important part from this whole paper, in my opinion, is that the most amount of money is not in building AI. It is in organizing it and also integrating agents and managing the chaos, because it creates a lot of chaos. So if you can help companies with that, you will be very well paid for that, because companies and people want to invest in AI. So if you just help them, they will pay you gladly. Okay, so this was quite an interesting week with AI. We had Claude Opus 4.7. We have Canva AI 2.0. We have NotebookLM that soon will be overpowered. We have Jesus AI, which I still don't know what I should think about it. We have a big AI layoff that is just creeping around the corner, but there is a way to overcome this whole crisis. So there was a lot of interesting things. If you would like to watch the next AI news next week, make sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, or if you would like to connect with me or other people that are interested about using AI and learning AI, and there's also a link in the description where you can find my school community. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.